is now moving into North Huntsville, between Huntsville and Meridianville, up 431, 231, basically the Memorial Parkway area, north of Huntsville into Meridianville. That's the area of general concern as the higher winds move in. Also extending further to the south of that, we have high wind speeds of 60 to 65 miles per hour also possible. So even if there's not a tornado actually occurring at the current time, these storms are still dangerous. They could still produce dangerous lightning and also wind gusts over 60 to 65 miles per hour, and that could do some damage. We've seen numerous trees down, reports from all over the Tennessee Valley where these storms have moved through. Even though tornado warnings haven't been all that abundant, we've had numerous reports of damage. So it doesn't have to be a tornado warning to have actual damage occur and for them to be a dangerous storm. But right now the tornado warning mainly in effect for areas between Huntsville, Meridianville, south and east of Harvest. And some of the rotation is starting to weaken a little bit, and hopefully that trend continues. We can't give you the all clear just yet, but that tornado warning officially continues until 8:30 p.m., I believe.
All right, thank you, Brandon. We actually have Kenny Duckett, who is working north on Memorial Parkway into this tornado-warned storm. And again, what you see right here, this is central Madison County, the red box right there, crossing Highway 53 and Highway 231. That is where we have a possible tornado that is just a little bit north of downtown Huntsville. So if you are driving on the parkway, we don't recommend that you do what Kenny's doing. Kenny has been doing this for a while, so he knows how to be safe. He has plenty of tools at his disposal to make sure he's not running into something unexpected here. But if you are not trained, we think you need to get off the highway at Hazel Green or get off Memorial Parkway. In fact, I would take the Governor's Drive exit and just stop there for a little while. Don't even worry about driving north on the Parkway or trying to get on 565 West or Highway 72 West into Madison. It is going to be an absolute mess with this torrential rain coming down. Good thing it's not going to last very long. It's going to pass quickly. Our possible tornado near Moores Mill right now. So if you're over here around the Riverton community up toward Buckhorn High School, this is coming in your direction. Now, the first one, remember, passed north of Buckhorn. This second one, there's a lot of noise in that circulation there, which means there might end up being one or two on the ground at any given time. This is not your classic supercell where there's one clear rotation and then the rest of the thunderstorm is just dumping heavy rain and hail and gusty winds. This is developing and moving all at the same time, and the rotation can sometimes weaken here and redevelop here. So that's why we've been giving pretty well the tornado warning for all of northern Madison County for the last hour or the last half hour to 45 minutes or so. So downtown Huntsville north, up toward Maston Lake, it's on top of you now. It's about to cross over the highway, come over the hills, and be in Moores Mill. As we've been saying, the odds of seeing anything with all this rain happening, couple that with the trees and the hills of eastern Madison County, it's going to be really tough to find anything that is visible out of this. Just got a report from Josh Hill on Twitter. Now, this is a slightly delayed report, but he said about a mile north of the Publix on 53 just off Jeff Road, he had a dumpster bag with about 500 pounds of trash in it spun around and pushed 5 feet from the winds. That was up here in Tony on the west side of Harvest. So that would have been as this possible tornado started wrapping up. It did its deal pretty quickly in northwestern Madison County. Josh also says there's no significant damage. He was just shocked to see how far it moved and how quickly it moved. And there's a lot of debris around, a lot of things that have been blown around, but he doesn't see a lot of significant structural damage, which would lead me to believe if there was a tornado, it was small, it was short-lived, and if we're going to have them, that's the kind that you want to have. The smaller, the short-lived ones, they don't do the same kind of damage that, even right now, a lot of folks have been mentioning today is the 41st anniversary of the super outbreak of 1974. We are not in any kind of situation like we were that night 41 years ago. There will be no extremely violent situations tonight except in these little spots where we have rotation developing. Okay, so we've been focused in here for a moment. Let's back out and give everybody a good, clear view of where we are relative to the storms, who has the all clear, who still has to wait a while before we can get the all clear. Well, clearly, we've got those strong storms lined up, severe thunderstorm warning in Jackson County and Franklin County, Tennessee, tornado warning Madison County, including Huntsville, and then a severe thunderstorm warning that is no longer in effect for Limestone County, but that was a pretty hefty storm as it's dropping southeast down in the direction of Mooresville. There are additional showers developing behind this, but I really think once this initial line passes by, the severe weather threat really starts to drop. Down to the south, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Lawrence County and for southeastern Franklin County, but really that storm is over the northern part of the Bankhead Forest, north of Double Springs in Winston County, and the Birmingham Weather Service Office has elected not to issue a tornado warning for Winston County or a severe thunderstorm warning because that storm just doesn't seem to be doing quite what it was back to the west. And you'll notice in northwest Alabama, northern Mississippi, there's just not that much happening, and the same thing is true in DeKalb County and Marshall County, most of Morgan and most of Coleman counties, Blount, Etowah, Cherokee. Everything you see here is transitioning to the southeast at about 35 to 45 miles per hour. So you do the math here, and it looks like it's probably an hour and a half to 2 hours from getting to Fort Payne. So we're still talking close to 10 o'clock before the big storms will come in on Fort Payne and then cross Lookout Mountain and get into Cherokee County and cross over Sand Mountain and get into Etowah County. Places like Albertville, Fort Payne, Cullman, Arab, you still have a ways to go before the big storms get to you. But right now we'll focus back in on what's happening here in Madison County and get a good close-in view on the radar here so that we can find the most dangerous part of this storm and get a good beat on it, and that would be it right there. Out ahead of it, you have heavy rain. There's likely to be some gusty winds. The rotation is situated right there. That's south of Moore's Mill. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit tighter here, Brandon. I want to get the streets on, and we have to go in pretty tight to do that. So there you see Winchester Road coming out of the Chase community. So Winchester is right there. There's Maysville Road. Running up from Maysville, and this is all north of Brownsboro. It's north of Madison County High School. This is moving up more toward Moore's Mill, Winchester Road. There you see Jordan Road. That would be the Mount Carmel Elementary area in the eastern part of Huntsville. Really, it's right on the city limits. Part of the school district there is in Madison County. Part of it looks like it's in the city of Huntsville. That looks like the rotation may be ramping up again. Homer Nance Road, Maysville Road, out here toward the Hurricane Creek area. East of Homer Nance and east of Bell Factory Road, you need to be in a safe place right now, and this is transitioning to the east and southeast. So Brownsboro, the Moontown right there, that's the Moontown Airport. Brownsboro's on down here, just a little piece on Highway 72. Our possible tornado, which seems to be ramping up in intensity again, the circulation's ramping up right here, right over top of Homer Nance, moving in the direction of Greenfield. This line, that is the Jackson-Madison County line. So this is going to get into very rural territory soon, but it very well could prompt a tornado warning for Jackson County if this circulation continues. I got a report here from Nathan Ball on Twitter out close to Limestone Prison. They got nothing more than light to moderate rain, and the rain is almost gone now. So even reports like that are valuable to us because we will know where this happened and look at the radar signature and get a pretty good idea of what's going to happen down the line from it. So we've got a pretty significant circulation right there. That's just east of Mount Carmel Elementary School, moving to the east just like that, moving right toward the Jackson County line. There's, of course, a lot of folks who live out here in this hilly territory. You're not going to be able to see this if you're looking west. Number one, the sun has set. Number two, there's a tremendous amount of rain falling ahead of it. And number three, you don't need to be out there looking for it anyway. You need to be in that safe place. And just as a reminder, that means the lowest floor of your house, being inside, being away from walls that have windows in them, be away from the outside doors, be off the front porch, come inside, away from this thing. If anything, this may be a fairly small tornado, but we can never know that just based on radar. Radar shows us what the storm is doing. It does not always show us exactly what's happening down at the surface, and that's why sometimes we get a little bit of a different look from one radar and a different look from another one. Armor looks one way, High Top looks another, and that's because we're hitting the storm at different levels. And that's one reason with Armor we were able to pick up on that circulation in northwest Madison County pretty quickly. Boy, look at that. Right over top of Maysville. Again, if you are from Winchester Road and Bell Factory Road south, I need you to be in a safe place. We have very strong indication of circulation right here, strong indication of a mesocyclone, which is often the parent of a tornado. And let's kind of zoom out just a little bit, Brandon, and look at western Jackson County, too, and go ahead and give folks around Princeton and Garth and Trenton in those areas in Jackson County. You're not under the warning yet, but I tell you what, you got something moving your direction that does not look pretty. That rotation is coming right toward Highway 65, which is the main road that runs from Paint Rock up toward the Princeton area, and then Trenton. Again, these areas